What are you sick of explaining? The difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes, and that I was born with it and didn't get it from eating sugar. And for me, that there are more than 2 types of diabetes. I heard of diabetes insipidus, definitely spelled it wrong. The one where you can't produce ADH, but are there any more than that? T1, autoimmune. T2, insulin resistance. 3A, related to Alzheimer's. 3C, removal of trauma to pancreas. LADA, late onset T1. Some differences from regular T1. Gestational diabetes. MODY, maturity onset diabetes of the young, genetic. And probably a bunch more. Theoretically T3 has AH. But you never really hear about the others. Only A and C. I'm T3C. There aren't that many of us, as it's quite a new diagnosis. But many older T1s might be reclassified as T3C these days. If they got there through e.g. pancreatitis. I'm a programmer. I write programs. I do not know how to fix your laptop that won't turn on. Allergies. E.g. against pollen or food. Pollen is flying around not only in summer, and the symptoms are not always red eyes or sneezing. So just because you cannot see that someone is not feeling well, it still can be the case. Or food allergies and you are judged as being picky. Please just accept that some people cannot eat everything. Probably there are other allergies, and explaining at some point is just so tiresome. My brother doesn't sneeze or have watery eyes when his allergy season hits. He coughs. He, naturally, has a very loud and aggressive sounding cough. Trying to work in May this year was more than a little bit difficult. That Bluetooth does not use your mobile data. This has been explained countless times to my dad. And that the 5 GHz channel on my router isn't the same as 5G mobile data. I've given up on explaining this one. Look, they both have 5 and G in the name. They also make Five Guys burgers, and they're right. I wish my router made burgers. Someone needs to get on that. That those games on Facebook that ask you to tap on your birthday per month or whatever are harvesting your details to be used for not so innocent purposes. Can you give an example of one of these not so innocent purposes? Just to confirm, I agree with you. But I'm interested as to the response. A lot of official websites require your birth date as part of resetting your password. Every time I forget my password to buy student loan provider, the first thing they ask is for the last 4 of my SSN and my birthday. My OCD. I have actually serious, medically diagnosed OCD. I have certain habits that I feel I sometimes need to explain, but it's hard to convey to someone who doesn't have it. I have the same problem with ADHD. I have a very severe case. I've learned to cope with it quite well by my age. Before people jump in with their suggestions, one of the things that catches people's attention, even when I don't want it to, is what I call cooling off. If I get overstimulated, I intentionally distance myself from that stimulation for a little while to cool off. So if I'm at a party, I may go sit in my car by myself for 15 to 20 minutes. No, I'm not being antisocial. No, for the love of God. I don't want you to come with me. I just need to chill for a sec, so I don't feel like I'm on an LSD trip. TBH, why I'm sober. I don't look like an alcoholic. I'm educated. I'm a girl. I wear glasses. Everyone thinks I'm the most innocent person they've ever met. I guess. IDK, apparently all those things don't translate to alcoholic. And no one takes me seriously when I tell them I had a serious drinking problem. They think I just got involved in AA as a precaution or something. They tell me about their friends who are real alcoholics, unlike me, when they literally know nothing about my drinking. I've gotten into 3 drunk driving car accidents. I got a DUI when I was 18. And last time I relapsed, I ended up being held against my will in a mental facility for 6 days after a suicide attempt because I drank for 3 months almost without stopping. So it's obviously a problem. I don't tell people this unless I'm helping someone in recovery, so I just let them have their weird idealized version of me and move on with my life. You sound like my older sister. She has the same situation, honor student. Dean's List every year in college. Brainiac, good girl, with glasses. The whole 9 yards. And also an alcoholic. It doesn't mean you have to be a hairy old dude in a wife beater and an 8 o'clock shadow. How I exist in Los Angeles without a driver's license car. I have a state ID. No, I didn't get a DUI. I have never had a driver's license. I am 37. I am blind in one eye. Don't feel super safe driving. Yes, I've had about 7 learner's permits. Just never actually ever took the road test. I bike a lot. I take Uber, Lyft. I live 2 miles from my job. I enjoy taking public transport since I'm originally from East Coast. I walk a lot. I plan group trips friends out of the city pre-pandemic life. I might get a license once DMV opens back up. BC pandemic made me think it'd be a good idea. I have never gotten a parking ticket. I know I look 10 plus years younger than I am. I don't know how to respond without sounding conceited. Curse of the baby face. I get ID'd every time I try to buy alcohol. Am in my 30s. My go-to line is usually, yeah, I know, sure. I'll be loving it when I'm 50, followed by a wry chuckle. I'm at the midpoint where I say that it sucked to look 12 when I was 20 but am happy with it now. Still, I'm kinda tired of talking about it. I looked 12 until I turned 25 when I started balding and instantly looked 50. Also sick of explaining that I am not a time-traveling crack dealer from 1992 and this is not a pager in my pocket. It's an insulin pump. Also, I do not have the bad kind of diabetes. All diabetes is bad. It's a flipping disease. Good grief. How I got that one scar. So, how'd you get it? Well, I was biking with some friends and hit a rock just right. So I tumble off my bike and this rock scrapes the entire length of my forearm, giving me a wicked bad gash and leaving a terrible scar. Sorry. Say that again? Hobby farmer here. A chicken is not the female. That's the name of the animal. The hen is the female. No, you don't need roosters for hens to lay eggs. They've been bred over hundreds to thousands of years to lay a lot of eggs. Yes, an animal needs to become pregnant in order to produce milk. Just like a person, they don't just one day become mature enough and become a perpetual milk factory. Hay and straw are two different things. Hay is dried grass or other leafy plants. It's what a lot of ruminants and horses eat. Straw is the dead stems of a crop like barley or wheat. It is inedible and usually used for bedding. Goats don't eat trash, but they are the cats of the livestock world and will get into and destroy everything you know and love. There is a reason they are associated with the devil. Why I don't really talk. I am so sick of being asked, why are you so quiet? Because I just am. I can talk to people and understand social cues, but I don't speak unless I think I'm adding something. I used to think I was an introvert across the board. As I grew up, I've realized that I'm generally an average talker in different social situations and I'm quiet only within my family. And I've recently found out why. Every single time I open my mouth I get interrupted. I can't recall a time when I was able to utter a full 2-line concept without being interrupted. Many times those interruptions are meant to change the whole subject. Then I guess my brain went like, okay, you don't care about what I have to say. Then I won't say it. Single quote. Interrupting is nothing but a dominance game. If you get interrupted, simple interrupt the interrupting with an even louder, excuse me. May I finish what I was saying, for once? Single quote. People most of the times don't even want anything bad when they interrupt you. You somehow gave them the feeling that they can interrupt you. Being present in a room is something you will have to learn anyway if you do not want to be pushed around. Yes, I'm tall. Yes. My parents are also tall. No, I did not play basketball. When people say, you're really tall, I never know what to say because it's not a rude thing to say, but it's not really a compliment either. It's just stating a fact about myself that I'm already aware of. One time someone said it, so I said, you have brown hair. He did not get it. To all the people telling me girls like tall guys, I'm a woman and I'm not upset about my height. I love being tall. I just don't know why people comment on it so much. I'm not a bitch. This is just what my face looks like. Alternatively, I'm not sad or angry. This is just what my face looks like. Yes. And when you are introverted or socially awkward, this is worse. At least when I was young. My mother and teachers would just say I was shy. It's a lot of work to get across that I can be friendly, and I do like some people. Masks make it so much easier. No fake smiles to look approachable or nice to strangers. Don't even need to talk to people when you're social distancing. Why it's important to actually show that you care and not be that type of person who says, it doesn't matter. She knows I love her. This is why I'm one of those people that tells couples to find out what their love language is. A lot of people need words of affirmation and constant affirmation from their partner that they matter and they are loved by them. And not just in relationships but in friendships too. I always make sure to say it if I remember to. Even if the other person thinks it's weird, in the off chance they appreciate it, it's worth it. Yes, this. Without even realizing it, my boyfriend and I had this conversation when we first got together. Some days he's very affectionate and others he's not, and just wants to sit beside me and enjoy my company without getting cuddly. And I learned to be okay with that. Since he's okay with the fact that I'm very affectionate and sometimes I need that reassurance. But either way, at the end of the day, we always make sure the other knows they're loved and appreciated. That being an English professor does not mean I'm teaching English to college-aged Americans. I can't wrap my head around how the fuck there are so many people who put themselves through the American education system and somehow never worked out that English equals writing and literature. I'm Korean 1. I do not eat dog 2. I am not related to Kim Jong-un 3. I am not from North Korea 4. I do not know every single K-pop song in existence 5. I am not from China 6. No. I do not eat bats 7. I will not carry you on League. But I am pretty decent at FPS. I'm training to be that legend Asian though. 8. I do not know karate but I have recently taken up Taekwondo 9. Yes. I do eat kimchi 10. I'm shit at math 11. I do not know Chinese 12. I have not had plastic surgery 13. Americans asked me these questions 14. I forgot to add this into my original list. I do not know any popular K-dramas Korean actors 15. Another forgotten on the OG list. I do not own any nukes. Yes, someone legitimately asked me this 16. No, I do not know every Asian or am related to every Asian 17. I do speak Korean.